they are more than happy to steal money from your estate because you had the gall to want to be with your child for its first 3 months of existence so that you can raise it.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
The last topic that I wanted to talk about was Rubio's paid leave policy that he put out there.
Oh, good grief.
Have you seen it, Adam? Have you read into it?
I know a little bit about it. I guess I'm about to find out more, but what I've seen is quite disturbing.
Wow.
And so I see Rubio is one of the main Republicans kind of posturing around certain worker issues, quote unquote.
Right.
And trying to position themselves a little bit more in the populist direction. Because, of course, especially since Trump, Republicans have been called populist by a lot of people.
Bizarrely.
They sometimes call themselves that.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it is bizarre because it's not at all
reflective
of their ideology or their policy prescriptions.
Right.
Rubio seems to be one who's trying to kind of...
trying to back it up a little bit more than the others.
Yeah, but when you read between the lines, you see it's just new ways to screw you.
Exactly. So, yeah, like you said, Adam, right-wingers have been on a kick recently trying to make us believe that they are the party of working people. And so far, remarkably little more than, anti-woke capitalist rhetoric has been offered in support of this effort at rebranding. The most that they'll do is, I think Marco Rubio came out in support of the Bessemer Amazon campaign, unionization campaign, because Amazon is too woke, which is absolutely nowhere on the list of the concerns of the employees that were unionizing. They could not care less about that.
Yeah, I mean, if your opposition to a company is because they dare make their employees take a workshop that says don't use the N-word at work,
yeah,
and that's kind of your beef with them.
But Marco Rubio has so far been basically the only one to try to attempt to put forward any legislation at all. His first attempt a few months ago was to legalize company unions, and we talked about that, and you can go watch our video on it. Not good, not pro-worker. But he's back with something else now. The Providing for Life Act, which is meant to bolster the Republicans' pro-family standing as Roe is overturned, and their colleagues in state legislatures are trying to make 10-year-old girls carry their uncle's rape pregnancies to term. The Providing for Life Act does two things: enable paid parental leave and expand the child tax credit. And now, at first blush, this sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound bad. I think that we should enable paid parental leave, and I think also that we should expand the child tax credit. I mean, these are both good things.
Sure.
But Matt Brunig did an analysis of the legislation and its likely effects, and folks, it is decidedly not good. It is decidedly not good. Let's first take a look at the child tax credit bit from Brunig's paper in the People's Policy Project. Unlike the proposed Biden CTC or the child benefit proposed by members Tlaib and Jones, the Rubio child tax credit is specifically designed to exclude poor families from the full child tax credit benefit and to ensure that the poorest families receive nothing at all from the program. Rubio accomplishes this by making his child tax credit phase in based on family income, meaning that the more money you earn, the more child tax credit benefits you receive up to a certain point. Because of this phase in, new parents earning less than $29,412 per year are not eligible for the full $4,500 benefit, and new parents with no earnings are eligible for absolutely nothing.
So the more you need it, the less you get.
Exactly.
And that's kind of a Republican economic policy in a nutshell, isn't it?
That is amazing. I mean, wow. Parents who earn nothing, $0 per year, get the least amount possible, which is zero, from this policy. Absolutely insane. But what about, okay, let's go on to the next policy. What about paid parental leave? Surely he can't, surely the worst thing that he can do is just make the paid leave low, right? Surely he can't do something crazy surely there's not a way to actually make it bad. Surely it could just be better, but it's still a step in the right direction. Surely this would not actually be a negative impact on working families. Well, from Matt Brunig's analysis, quote, Rubio's parental leave program provides 3 months of leave benefits for new parents with the catch that any parent that claims them will have to undergo a reduction in their Social Security old age benefits to offset what they received for parental leave. Specifically, the Rubio bill states that a parental leave beneficiary will, at retirement, be required to choose between paying those benefits back by having their Social Security check docked for 60 months or paying those benefits back by having every Social Security benefit check docked until they die. Rubio's parental leave program excludes from eligibility anyone who has worked for less than 2 years. Parents who are still in education or just joined the workforce, which also described many of the people who have abortions, which is the thing that Rubio is ostensibly trying to get at, let's remember. Parents who are still in education or just joined the workforce, which describes many people who have abortions, will get absolutely no money from this program. And finally, in Rubio's bill, when somebody dies before reaching old age, all of the parental benefits they received during their life are deemed overpayments, and the Social Security Administration makes their estate pay them back. So when a mom or dad tragically dies a few years after having their third kid, the surviving spouse under Rubio's bill will have to send a big, fat check to the Social Security Administration.
That's family values for you, folks. So yeah, if you're lucky enough to make enough money to qualify for it, and you've been in the workforce long enough to qualify for it, they'll be so generous as to allow you to borrow from your own Social Security benefits so you can choose now to have a little bit of leave in exchange for suffering in your retirement.
Hoping you live that long, and if not,
because otherwise your family's screwed.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, wow. This honestly, I'm not sure that this would be. This might actually be worse than just what we have now, which is nothing.
Which is amazing. How can you make it worse than having nothing? That's just astounding. Absolutely wild.
Yeah, I think
talk about a death tax,
Right, yeah.
They're always, one of their things is like, oh, it's so terrible that somebody who has a $20 million estate might have to pay an estate tax on the 20 millionth and first dollar. Oh no, a death tax.
Adam Smith, the, founding father of capitalist theory himself, was on board with taxing inheritance. But for them, it's a bridge too far. No worries, though.
Unless it's a working family, in which case they are more than happy to steal money from your estate because you had the gall to want to be with your child for its first 3 months of existence, so that you can raise it.
Because you didn't have a choice on whether you were going to have that child or not.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is one of the most frustrating things about this whole framing of Republicans as populist or trying to reclaim working people. It is so not true, and I think it's up to all of us to make sure we don't let anyone get fooled by that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really all that serious about it, because why? They don't have to be.
Right.
They have a winning formula. They have a base of the middle class, of small business owners and professionals, and they can supplement that with just enough older white workers who are, along with a small fraction of Hispanic and other races. But generally, it's a middle-class base with a small number of white workers who are older and who are, buying into the bigotry, all funded by oligarchs. They don't have any need for a populist movement, nor would they want one. But they're going to continue this training, and unfortunately, liberal media will continually allow them to do that.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.